This is Jasmine and Kitty at the TLC Clinic in Vero Beach, January 2016. I'm going to let them both go through regular play and then do a slow play review afterwards. The video on the left is your morning run. The video on your right is your afternoon run. You shaved 1/10 off in the afternoon from the morning. I think just having a smaller pocket going into second barrel. She was definitely tired after winning the youth jackpot Friday night and placing in the open. And then you had a 7 and an 8. So the afternoon was 1/10 faster, like I said. And I think the night before you had a 4. So that was really good. I think you two are an awesome team. And you won the clinic champion for you were the clinic champion for our jackpot. And so now I'm going to let them go through slow play and just talk about a couple things I think that you can help be a little bit smoother. First, your alleyway approach. I really like let me see if I can open these up a little bit better. I really like when like Friday night I saw you come in the alleyway and you were just, very quiet with your hands. You let her just come in nice and smooth. You didn't spend a lot of time setting her up. You just eased right into it. The video on the right, you're a little bit smoother taking off than the video on the left. She kind of climbs a little bit. She gets a little bit chargy, and you can see right there she's hopping off the floor. She wants you to let her go, and so I think it's key that you keep things quiet. You might have to change a couple of things so that you don't have, see on the video on the left in the morning, she's not climbing as much as the afternoon. So I think the difference is maybe sit a little bit more neutral and just keep your hands low and quiet, but then right here, instead of pulling back, see how you pull back but you lean forward? I think you need to try changing your body position to sitting more. Your shoulders are always in front of your hips, and then you're pulling back on your reins, so she ends up high-headed and chargy on her front end. So what I'd like you to do as a change into your first barrel is sit down, two hands, instead of going to the horn so early. As you can see on both of these barrels, you go to the horn early and then you start pulling on your inside rein. And whenever you pull on a horse, they're going to pull back and they're going to go past their barrel. So what I'd rather see you do is just sit your shoulders back a little bit sooner, maybe 3 or 4 strides. After you let her go in the alleyway at an even pace, let her pick the pace. Just sit your body down more, sit your seat down, have your shoulders back with your hips. And then when your hands come back, 2 hands, you'll make contact with the rein. And then just do a very light bump, 1-inch bump with 2 hands instead of pulling down with the inside rein, because what that's going to do is make both of you lean to the inside. She's going to lose her pivot foot and she's going to drift by with her outside shoulder. So as you see coming in here, let me zoom that out a little so you can see your barrel better. She's giving her face because you're getting too much face, but her shoulder's just drifting, and that comes from being too much on your inside rein. So I'd rather see you stay 2 hands and maybe just do light, very light 2-hand bumps and have her come around that way. As you can see, your first row was a slightly tighter in the afternoon than it was in the morning, so that probably helped you as well. So that was a nice improvement, but we do need to change hand and body position. As you can see as well, when you're getting her over, sometimes you're pretty dominant on that outside rein to move her over, and so it kind of pulls her face to the outside. When you pull the face to the outside, it puts the shoulder on the inside, so then your turn's not going to be as smooth. So if you could use your outside leg more and keep your hands more even as you ride to your 4 or 5 foot pocket next to the barrel, that would help as well. Obviously you had about 10 foot of pocket here and about 4 foot here, so the position on the afternoon was way better than in the morning. And you only take 2 strides around the barrel. We'll back that up. Oops. Back that up here. You only want 2 strides of rate and 2 strides around the barrel. So if we count off when she rates herself, 1, 2, 1, 2 on the right, 1, 2, 3 on the left. So that wide pocket costs you 3 strides around the barrel and only 2 strides of rate on both, and only 2 strides around the barrel on that side. So that also makes a difference on the clock, taking an extra stride around a barrel. Here's 1, 2 strides of rate, 1, 2 around the barrel, 1, 2. And your third barrel was slightly smoother in the afternoon, in the morning than in the afternoon. It just looks like she was really running up in there. And once again, I want you to look at your body position when you're leaving a barrel, okay? We're going to look here. You pull up on the horn, give her a head. I like that on the right. And then on the left, you do the same thing. You're really good about getting out of her way, leaving your barrels. You get up, you give her her head, you let her drive. Then you get back to 2 hands, kind of line her up. It looks like, again, you bring your hands back to let her know to rate a little bit on the left. You sat your seat down really nice on the right, which I like. You go to the horn, and she's getting in there tight. So that's the thing you're just going to have to watch with her. If you look or lean to the inside, she's going to start getting in on it and maybe start her turn a little bit early. And when that happens, you end up with your pocket behind the barrel. So it's really important that you look and ride to 4 feet to the side of the barrel and 4 feet past the barrel, and stay 2 hands as long as you can until you know she's in her spot in the hole, 4 feet to the side and 4 feet past the barrel. That'll help keep her body straighter longer and not risk the situation where they get where they're like this, where their shoulder's in and their hip is out. They just kind of start to anticipate the turn. So a lot of them get in tight and they start a little bit early, and very minimal. It's still beautiful, and she worked awesome, and you two are an amazing team. Your third barrel was really, really nice on both runs. Of all the horses I rode in the clinic, she had the best times. She had the best basics, and it shows up in the pattern. So that is why that I really love people like you, Jasmine. I've worked with you since Okeechobee Clinic, my house clinic, probably 5 years. I've seen you at Vero Beach 3 times, Okeechobee, my house, probably 5 years of clinics, and watched you go from chump to 6 to kitty, and you've just become such a talented little competitor and horse person for training horses too. You're starting to know what's needed and when. So if this is the barrel pattern, when you practice the barrel pattern, obviously with her, you're going to want to have a nice smooth takeoff, keep everything quiet, and just keep momentum. Try not to set up too much. You're going to be thinking rate 3 strides at least from the barrel. Sit your shoulders and hips back more. In your slow work, you can stop and back up or just sit here and relax. And then just nice flexing. But when I rode her, like I said, she had beautiful shape. And you have 2 options on your left turns because she has a lot of natural rate. You can do kind of an in and out situation, or you can ride the hip to the barrel. So sometimes it's good to take the hip to the barrel and stop square and teach them not to start their turn too soon, keeping the shoulder up and the hip in, and then walk around the barrel and do the same thing, stop with the hip there. Or your other option for her style, being a free runner, is right here going into first on your arc, and then on this barrel go straight at the barrel, then pick her up and do like an in and out over finish, straight at the barrel and then in and out. That way you're really picking up that shoulder and making her give you extra pocket here. But knowing that she kind of went out to a wide pocket, she might be so smart that she would do that in a run. So you'd have to see which is best for her, straighter, longer hip to the barrel, or in and outs with the shoulder and the nose. And just kind of play that. But practicing the barrel slow during the week at a walk or a trot, or even a lope to the barrel, stop, walk around it, would be really good for her, just for calming, so she doesn't get so hot and climbing. I like some of the drills we did during the day, the figure eights with the simple transitions in the middle, just to teach her to relax, pick up her lead, trot, pick up her lead, trot, and just do that. That was good for her. Another drill like the inline barrels, where you came at it, you circled to the left, and then you went out and you roll back, and then you do the right turns. That's a good one too. And then roll back and then repeat and do left turns. That's a good one in the sense for a horse like her to separate your rate and your turn cues and keep her straight, and then nice fluid circles. You can set a barrel in the middle to make her really think about pretty turns around a barrel instead of just turning the barrel. Really focus on your circles. But ultimately, Jasmine, she had the best basics in the clinic. You rode her amazing, and I'm just so proud of you and where you've gotten in the last 5 years. Congratulations.